In 1965, with our 23rd SANFL premiership, we became the most successful club in SA League football. It's a title that we have never lost. From 1977, with my uncle Russell collecting the premiership trophy in the league's centenary season, with that unforgettable acceptance speech, the flags have kept rolling at Alberton. 1979, 1980, 1981, 1988, 1989, 1990, 92, 94, 95, 96, 98, 99. It's a long list. There is no surprise that with such domination on the field and with such strong support from our fan base, the Port Adelaide Football Club was the compelling choice for the national competition. It says so much of Port Adelaide, a founding club of the SANFL, that even in joining the AFL in 1997, this club has stayed true to its ambitions to be the best club in the SANFL. They tried to tear us apart. They tried to deny us our rightful place in Australian football, but our club is not easily beaten. For those SANFL heroes from the 1950s who have made Port Adelaide the greatest football club in SA and paved the way to the AFL, this year's 150th anniversary celebration is a great moment to pay tribute to you and your legacy that lives on in two leagues.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a lineup. Team of the century ruckman, Russell Johnston, Russell Ebert, Greg Phillips, Bruce Abernerthy. Russell Ebert, 1977. It was a famous speech by you when you held the cup aloft. What a relief, eh?
Yeah, it was a pretty short speech, but I thought it was relevant at the time because we'd had a lot of disappointments in the previous grand finals, and to finally win that, and it was just such a relief. And fortunately on the table tonight with Maxie James and Peter Voigt and a number of other players who had been through the late 60s and early 70s, and to win that game, win that premiership for them and all of our supporters, as you can see tonight, you got to win a flag.
Yep.
And we bloody did it.
Russell, a fellow who sadly isn't with us tonight, I want to ask you about Bruce Light. What a special player, what a special person he was.
He certainly was. And Light and I came down from Waikerie. Bruce came down the year before, 67. So when I got transferred to Waikerie, we sort of powered up a bit along with another couple of Waikerie fellas, and so the transition to come down was good because Kim Lehman was also in Waikerie, and they commuted down. They couldn't come down here permanently because they were both on the fruit blocks, but to be able to mix with them and play other sports and then be invited to come down, well, it was either sort of Port or North because I already knew a couple of people. So, yeah, just it's worked out pretty well. Married the Lehman sister and played footy with Lighty. Yeah.
So, Greg Phillips, you not only enjoyed playing footy at Port Adelaide, but you ended up owning a couple of pubs in the Port as well, which was a big part of our history, the Royal Arms and then the Lighthouse. Did you ever have a schooner or a pint before training?
Maybe after, but I tell you what, it was a good place to have your meetings. I used to say to the guys, you know, if you're, you know, the younger blokes that are sort of a bit worried about, you know, how things are going, you know, Greg can over talk to you. I said, yeah, we'll meet us down the pub, we'll have a bit of a yap down there. So, yeah, you give them 5 or 6 beers, you get the bloody truth, I tell you, you know. It turns into like, you know, just take, for instance, Adrian Setri. Yeah, he goes sets and, you know, he goes, oh, I'm not getting a kick, you know, I've been telling Jack, oh, sorry, he was getting a kick. I've been telling John Carl I'm playing really well and, you know, I just can't get a game, you know. And then give him about 5 beers and he's saying, fucking hell, Jack Carl won't give me a game, you know, I'm playing good. I've kicked 4 goals the last 2 weeks. I've been BOG, Brian Faircloud's given me the best. It all comes out. So I think the pubs are a pretty good place to have a bit of a meeting with the players.
It was a very important part
I don't think it'll happen today, though,
yeah.
but anyway.
Bruce Abernerthy, tell us about your first premiership. You're doing matriculation at Woodville High School. You're 17 years of age, and everyone's celebrating, but Monday morning, you go to high school. What happened?
It's good to be here, and this is almost like the old days at Channel 7, you and me sitting on a couch interviewing footballers, but you pissed off the breakfast radio. Good to see you got the hosting gig tonight too. I was fortunate enough. I was responsible. My parents made sure after I played in the 1979 flag that on Monday morning I went to school. We had matriculation exams, and at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon I was in the chemistry class. I've never used the chemistry since. And there was 40 semi-drunk footballers who'd come from the brewery looking for me, running up and down the corridors of a high school. Now, you can imagine how that would go down these days. Not that well. But anyway, they dragged me out and took me off for a couple of hours, which only took me about 3 drinks. I was 17, so I only had a couple of lemonades, and dropped me home in a cab. But just the thing that whole story made to me was how proud I was of my football club. You and I grew up around Albert and Cheltenham on our bikes. We were proud to be able to ride our bikes, go onto the fence, see the games, see our heroes, Russell Ebert, play football. And I was proud to play that first premiership. I was proud to go to Melbourne and come back to our footy club, have success. And I was so proud that this club recognised Bruce Weber and what he did tonight. I'm so proud of Bucky and Greg Bolton getting that second licence. Choco, I'm proud of you, mate. You got that first flag, the 2004 flag. And I'm proud of Brett and Mark Hazeman too on triggering the whole get away from the SANFL and getting to the Adelaide Oval, and well done. And that's the word. Koshy used that word in his speech. He said proud. And that's, to me, I'm just proud of my football club, and I always want to be proud of it.
Well done. Well done. Russell Johnston. Now, Russell, you came as such a raw country lad. You came from Casterton. You went to Collingwood. You spent some time there. And then you came to Port Adelaide. So you got to see our club as an outsider. Well, what was it like early days when you first got there, the expectation?
Well, I must say, when you first turn up, and first thing you got to do is learn up the lace at Guernsey. So that was a bit of a job, but it's a proud moment when you first lace up the Guernsey. And just the first game I played was against Richmond in a trial game, and they were the premiers the year before in the VFL as it was then, and it was pretty amazing. We run them right to the wire, and I felt like we got ripped off, And we were coming off 2 in a row, so basically I just fitted into the system, and to play with great players like Russell and Greg and Abba and these guys, it's a dream come true. And like Abba, it's Port Adelaide's in your heart and soul. You can't replace that, and you can never divorce yourself from it, but you never want to. Yeah. So it's fantastic.
I said that you ended up, you are forever our ruckman in our team of the century. What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm proud.
All right, get back to me.
Gets free tickets.
Greg, throughout all the success in the premierships, I always got the feeling that at training, because I used to watch training all the time, there was a lot of fun as well. I mean, when you had to be serious, you were and you won games, but there were a few larrikins. Tell us about Bomber Clifford.
Well, how long have you got? Bloody hell, Bomber. I think he was probably the secret to our success. Just running amok all the time. Just love life. I always remember that time live TV. We won a grand final. Don't ask me what year it was. And KG and Ian Day were interviewing us live. And KG said, "Oh, it's fantastic. All these Melbourne players at Port Adelaide get over here. To play for Port. Timmy Evans, Jono, just went on and on with all these players." And he goes, "Bomber, it's just fantastic, yourself being over here. How does Port Adelaide get all these Melbourne players over here?" And he goes, "Well, KG, this is live TV. Well, KG," he goes, "we've already recruited Royce Hart's brother." And KG's coming 100 miles an hour. And some people might know this, and it's a true story. And KG goes, who, Royce Hart's brother? He goes, "Yeah." And then Bomber goes, "Joof." And then KG goes, "Joof up." He goes, "No, did you?" I go, "Bomber, we're on live TV, mate. Just settle down, So, but he was absolutely a larrikin. I think he's had about 9 wives, but he's, I think, lives, 9 lives probably. I think, cost Lucky Wassel was here. I think he replaced Mark Dawson's window once. So I think Mark Dawson done marry his wife. I don't know what that was all about, but Bomber was a bit of a larrikin, bit of a larrikin.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Russell, one of the great things about Port Adelaide is the uncompromising supporters, I think. And so it's on field, you blokes get the job done, but then there are supporters off the field. Tell us about going upstairs on a Saturday night. You were both player and then you were coach, if we'd lost.
Oh, no, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, Dits. And sort of coming from the country, like when you went to a game, you had your parents, your family, and a couple of friends maybe as a crowd. But when you came down here and you're playing in front of 20 or 30,000, that was a culture shock. But it was even worse when you went upstairs, particularly when you lost. There was always a crowd there, but when you lost, they were hostile, and they were your best critics. When you won, they were your best friends. When you lost, geez, did you find out about it? And that's why with Foss and with Jack, at three-quarter time, they used to say, "You got to face this mob after the game." They live their lives through your efforts, and we want them to go home and have lollies and soft drinks and all that, not go home to a dark house and because you've lost. Now, what are you going to do? No, we're going to win, Foss. And we knew we had to face the hostile crowd, and they let you know it. So I'm sure they got us across the line, and they gave really honest feedback. And that's why it's so just fantastic to see so many here tonight, because probably out of the 1,600, 1,550 would be absolutely supporters that you can't buy. You've got to win their respect by your performance, and they know value when they see it. They know when you've played as good as you can play. They know when you've got nothing left to give, and they respect that, and that's why we respect them. Couldn't do it without them. Thank you.
Dits, can we just get Herb to point out the 50 that aren't? Sorry? Can we get Herb to just point out the 50 that aren't?
Yeah, exactly. Kutchi, before you leave us, so you've got a special photo here you want to tell us about. Tell us about leadership at the football club.
Yeah, about the leadership, mate. There's probably two good leaders when I played in my footy. Number one here, I thought I was the next best leader, but I was the off-field leader. Anyway, this time I was pretty fortunate enough to win in 8 grand finals. Now, this photo has never made the paper. Anyway, when we won the grand final, we all know we go to the SA Brewery. That day, we unveiled the flag. And anyway, this day, I was there looking at this flag, looking at the chimney, and then Timmy Gentleman comes up and he goes, "Kutchi, you're looking a bit worried. You all right? You're on a mission." And I said, "I'm on a mission today, Timmy." And he goes, "What, how many beers you going to have?" I said, "Nah, I'm going to climb that fucking chimney up there, you know." Anyway, the story goes, I was watching this bloke coming in out of this gate, this door in the shed, and I said to the bloke, "When you go through that door, how do you blokes get up that chimney?" And he said, "Oh, you just go left, right." You know, they go left, right, and they get up there, so no worries. So anyway, about 5 or 6 beers later, this is on a Monday, so we've had Saturday night, Sunday. I'm probably about 0.07, 0.08 maybe. Just couldn't quite drive. And anyway, the door, bloke come out, quickly grabbed the door, straight in, straight left, right, up the steps I'm going. No worries, I'm climbing. I'm going to show these boys how to climb a ladder, how to get to the top. And I look down and say, "You little beauty." I get about halfway up and look down behind me. Fucking hell. I got bloody Timmy Jennifer up my arse, Paul Northeast, Mark Williams. And Roger Delaney took 3 steps and got off and said it was too high. So they were weakest pest, Rog. I didn't know that tonight till Norther told me. So when I was going up, it was getting a bit scary, We're going up and up and up. Anyway, the security guards, get them down, you can't climb up there, Ray Titus was taking this photo. You've got to get them down, No photos in the paper, someone's going to get injured. So we keep going up, get right to the top, get to this gate. I'm the first, I'm the leader. Open the gate. I climb up on this top of the chimney on the brewery there. And then, because I just shut the gate a bit and Timmy's coming up, like a little ghost, little white knuckles, laughing and think, "Oh, you right, Timmy? You right, Timmy? Yeah, I can make it, Norther, Norther, you're right, fucking I can do it, no worries, I'll get up there. Go, Norther, you can do it, mate, come on. Choco, how you going? Nothing, not a word. Quiet as. I go, oh, Jesus, he's our best player, in and under player that loves the challenge, and he's quiet as, the story, we get up there, we're on the top of the chimney, we're looking down, all these little ants, just down, that's the humans, there we go. And we're absolutely shitting ourselves, I was a little bit, but Northern, I said, "Okay, guys, now put both hands up in the air, like if you're taking a mark." And, and then Timmy goes, "What for?" I said, "Well, at least you'll know now when I go for a mark, what's it like, how high you get up and you'll feel the height. You know, you're like an idiot, Coochie. You know, so we're up there, and they were brewing. You know, they were brewing beer that day because they knew probably Port were going to drink about 500 litres of beer. So they were just. They actually tapped our keg to those big stainless steel tanks. You know, they don't put a couple of kegs on. But we got up there, and it was the most daringest thing I've ever done. But then I realised I had Timmy Ginniver and Mark and Paul Northeast there. Like Northeast loves the challenge. I don't think Choco spoke for about 3 hours. But he got through there. Like I said, Roger pissed off and didn't do it. And this photo, I don't know if it comes through. Did it come through to you at all? You can see us there on top of that chimney, which I never got up there. And that's one of the best Mondays I had with the Port Adelaide Football Club. I guarantee it won't be done again, not unless we jump the fence. But yeah, that's what happens when you drink too much alcohol. Anyway.
I feel like I'm at a
Drink
fringe show.
responsible, yeah.
Please thank Russell, Greg, and Bruce.
Thank you guys. Love
Thank
you
you very
all.
much.